So there you go. What's that? No, I can't do it anymore. That's all I could muster up. I ripped Abby's paper just for fun. But she's gonna get an 8 out of 8 for sure. Let me make sure I'm on the right. 8 out of 0. Sorry, 8 out of 0. Whoa, jeez, you kids these days. I know I did. Hold on, let me make sure I'm on the right class. Oh yeah, it's anatomy. I'm like, where is everybody today? Which is fine. Okay, once again, those of you, I'm doing this on purpose. Those of you online, folks, there's several of you who have not asked me about this paper, and I have not sent you this paper on purpose. So sorry, unless you email me. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing that is I want to see who's out there. So no extra credit from you, or unless you're reading this and you send me an email and say like, hey, can I get that paper? Not trying to be a douche, just checked in to see who's out there because there's a lot of you I haven't heard from for a while, so miss you. All right, so let's talk immune system. I'm going to show you some incredibly graphic pictures today. 3 people have already thrown up, okay, today, and one kid went into a seizure. I felt bad about that because of what I am going to show you today. Okay, you're like, I would have seen this on Snapchat. Yeah, if some kid was like foaming at the mouth, this would have totally been on Snapchat. What's that?
Is it tonsil stuff?
It is not tonsil stones. I
We
can.
Hey, Abby, do you want to see some?
You've got some right now.
I had, remember those
Oh
pictures?
yeah. She's got some good ones.
Okay.
This guy's got
No, I gotta find it.
no coatster, right? I didn't see it when I don't see him at lunch. I guess I'm gonna be with
You
this.
got a big one. You still have it?
Ooh, yours
Not
is so
anymore.
big.
They popped it and I just pulled them. Dude, I have more.
All right. I feel like every class has its own like personality, which is so cool, and it makes it fun. And I feel like you guys get the benefit of this because it's like at the end of the day where I can tell you all the other stories, right? And half of them come from Lace, I know, but here we go. So today, a couple people had some questions. Did I show you this slide yesterday? Did we get to this one? Okay, so some people were talking about, of course, the uvula is always this like mysterious thing. Like I'm hoping that by the time you're done with this class, you'll know, number one, like some weird organs and weird things in your body that you didn't know you had before, like where your spleen is, where your kidneys are. The uvula is the hanging thing at the back of your throat, not the a female vagina part. Okay, right? And so the other thing that people start talking about today is when we looked at this uvula stuff, they asked me about the tonsils at the back of the tongue. And I think we started talking a little bit about those papillae, those big bumps at the back of your throat. And I tried to find a really good picture of those lingual tonsils. I'm just going to have to spend a little more time. Like the Lord Google did not help me immediately when I looked through that stuff. So once again, those tonsils are a little bit harder to see. Now, someone asked about sticking your tongue out and why some people can stick it out further than others. That's your frenulum, okay? So you have a frenulum lots of different places. There's one like right here underneath your lip that attaches your lip to your gum. There's one on the top right here that attaches your lip to the gum. There's one underneath your tongue, and this is why I'm not asking anyone to Google this, because there's one on your pee as well. Okay, so there's a little piece of skin. Now that piece of skin, okay, most of you don't see it because it's not there anymore because it was snipped off with the foreskin. So the foreskin and the frenulum attached together. It's on the posterior side of the penis. I'll show you pictures later of that. Okay, so that's that. Those questions came up today about sticking your tongue out, and I thought I should probably talk a little bit about the frenulum. Okay, so when some people get that snipped, like I had a student a few years ago that literally, I'm not joking, could not stick his tongue out further than this. And I was like, dude, stick your tongue out more. And he's like, I promise you, Burnworth, I cannot do it. I was like, nah. And I was like, let me see your frenulum. And it like that skin went all the way to like practically the tip of his tongue. And I said, hey, dude, like, what's the deal? And he's like, I go, why didn't you get that snipped? He goes, well, I didn't get snipped when I was a little kid. I probably should have. He said, now the doctors have told me that like if I get it snipped, I'm gonna have to go through speech therapy to relearn how to say some words because I'm 17 years old and I've been like talking this way. My brain knows how to react to my tongue in that form. Yeah. Yours is attached? Yep. Let me see. How far can you stick your tongue out? That's pretty far, man. That's pretty good. Yeah.
And then you got people like Gene Simmons where it's just insane.
God, that guy's tongue is unbelievable, isn't it? It's just like he like wrap it around. Pretty cool. All right. So there's your tonsils. There's the tonsil stone. How about this thing? Okay. Oh yeah, here's the tonsil stone. We can look more this way. This person has a very a small uvula right there, but that's so the tonsil stones. You're gonna find those in your palatine, not in your lingual tonsils. You pop those little puppies out.
I've literally tried to pop mine out so many times, and I couldn't because every time I did it, it felt really weird and hurt.
Some people use like a Q-tip.
Yeah, mine was a Q-tip that I found.
Right. All right, what's going on with this guy?
It's not there's like not enough blood going down.
Great guess here. Check this guy out. You know what he's holding there, right?
No,
That's his nut sack,
No,
folks.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Like no joke. Now I did be careful with this, kids, because there's a couple other pictures I want to show you. This disease can affect any part of your body, and I saw some other pictures of some other places, but this is a classic one. I've also seen pictures of a guy like practically sitting on his. This is the one that Abby and I talked about. There used to be a website called Rotten, rotten.com. Do you remember this? Yeah. Okay, and where they had like pictures like this is like crazy. Okay, so this right here, all of you in this room, could get this. Okay, hopefully not to this level. Okay, but this is actually caused from a worm. Okay, but you can get this condition if your lymph nodes and your lymphatic tissue. So these little guys. I'll get to this. Wait, I forget which way I put these pictures. I'll show you the lymph nodes. But yesterday I showed you. Oh, here we go. This stuff, right? So when these tissues fill up with fluid, okay, that's what your leg ends up looking like. And lymphedema is a big problem, especially when you get older. My mom just recently had sweat. She's had swelling in her legs for a long time. And she thinks now, kind of looking back, it might have something to do with their blood pressure medication, but they've looked at all kinds of things like lymphedema. I just noticed that Carl's got cavities. I never noticed Carl's cavities before. 1, 2, 3. 3 cavities. Look at that, Carl. Good to know you. All right. Okay, so let's look at this guy's nutsack again. So what happens here? That fluid begins to build up in that tissue, okay? And that's a problem, okay? Ladies, hopefully you even recognize that might be painful. Okay, also the same with this person's foot. Okay, this worm does not really exist here in the United States, at least not yet. Okay, can you walk on that? I don't know, probably, but probably not very well. Okay, this you could walk in, but again, painful, not a lot of fun, and you want to get rid of that. Okay, so let's talk about our lymph nodes and the whole purpose. Okay, and to do that, I need to show you this picture, and I'm guessing that at least one of you in here has had a test like this before. This is an allergy test where they literally poke you with actual antigens, and these antigens they're looking for like a reaction. So here's an example of a kid, okay, and this kid is very allergic to eggs and not very allergic to nutmeg. You're gonna like all this pretty good. Not too bad, not too allergic to chicken or squash or those sorts of things, okay? So literally what they're doing is they're taking a needle with grass or pollen and poking you to see if you have a reaction. This guy up here on the right, okay, I tried to download this picture for you, but it was blocked, man. He is allergic. Look at this and this and this. Those are huge things. But this means that your immune system is working. Okay. All of these things, even this kid, okay, may be allergic to eggs. It's because their immune system is saying like, hey, okay, something's going on. Like when we take histamine, so you can see up here, histamines are not necessarily bad. Eggs are not very bad. Okay. But when we have an allergic reaction to something, then it swells up. Okay. So when we take antihistamines, that's to clear our mucous membranes, right? Because we're producing a lot of snot because it's pollen season.
Okay,
Yes.
so mine,
Yeah. Cool.
it,
Yeah. Look at that. Jeez Louise.
but they said I wasn't allergic to anything.
Really?
This was right when they like poked me,
Yeah.
and then
What was it after? Let's see what it looked like.
this was okay. So this was before. This was after they stabbed me, and then that was the ending.
Yeah,
So,
I wonder what that one.
yeah, that one. They said nothing was wrong.
Oh,
They said my
interesting.
body was trying to kill myself. That's literally what they said. I said, oh,
You're like, oh, that's great.
yeah,
Thanks.
and I haven't gotten them ever since I went and got tested.
Interesting.
And like they were rashes. Like,
Yeah.
all over me.
Yeah, I break out in hives really bad. It's happened like 6 times. Like I just wake up with it, and it's like all down my entire body, and it's terrible.
Skin is weird. Like I have rosacea, knock on wood, like I haven't had like really like a problem with it for a while. But I got a blood test, and the blood test was like, avoid like buckwheat, avoid like yellow number 5, blue number 6, those kinds of things. But
Yeah, I have a video of
skin is weird. Yeah.
why I got tested for it.
Oh yeah.
Because this is right
Oh
after
yeah.
I woke
Oh
up.
yeah.
And that was all over my body. So I was like, I need to get tested.
Yeah.
And it was nothing.
It was nothing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, these lymph nodes are all over your body. They're around your heart, around your armpits, even in your groin. Here's one right next to some breast tissue in that armpit. Okay. And this is what it looks like via a nice cartoon. Notice we have lots of entryways, but only one out. Okay. We call those entryways the afferent entry, okay, or afferent lymphatic vessel. We also have afferent arterioles. Okay, this is going to go out. What's happening here is all of your immune cells, like our T cells, those T lymphocytes, they're living in there. They're producing the thymus, but they hang out there. And there's some in my armpit, my groin. Okay, it kind of depends on where that infection or that like, let's say in the example of our coloring book page, that person gets a splinter in their finger, right? Okay, that swelling occurs. So those lymph nodes, okay, most likely probably from the arm, are sending, a message like, hey, we got to take care of this issue. Okay, so lymph nodes are pretty cool. And that's when the doctor checks your throat to see like, okay, are those lymph nodes swollen? I think I told you yesterday I had one in my arm for the longest time. I have no idea like what happened. That lymph node hasn't bothered me for years, but like for like a while, it's like, man, this is really a bummer. I asked the doctor, like, just watch it, right? And then it went away. So like either my body took care of the infection or I've still got it and my lymph node just gave up and now I'm going to die. Who knows? Okay. So T cells, B cells, all housed in this lymph node. Okay. Let's talk about this spleen. Okay. Where's your spleen located? Left side, right side. What do you think? Left side, right by the stomach. I'll come back to this. Here's your liver. So here's Carl again. This is your diaphragm. Your spleen is colored yellow right here, but it's not really yellow in real life. Here's your gallbladder. Here's your spleen again. The stomach would be right here. The pancreas would be right here. The intestines would be all the way on top of this. This is your kidney. The kidney's removed right here. Here's your gallbladder, your liver, your diaphragm. Okay, so your spleen's over there on the left. What the heck does your spleen do? Okay, I've had a few students over the years, okay, with spleen issues. My last one was Mason Meyer, got the mono, okay, and it was right before we were going to go on our Everglades trip, and the doctor said he was clear to go. He'd missed some school, but he was better, not contagious anymore. But there was only one thing he couldn't do on the trip. Okay, what's that? You had mono too? Okay, guess what the doctor said he couldn't do? He could do anything on this trip except for this one thing. He could swim, but it did involve swimming. He could snort. He couldn't dolphin swim because he was afraid that the dolphin would hit him and rupture his spleen. Okay. Now you're like, oh, that dolphin's not gonna hit it. Dolphins are weird, man. They will like they are like very intelligent, and I've seen them attack people. Like one time, they attacked this girl, and she was kind of mean. It was kind of interesting. I kind of always wondered about that. But like this, she's like, this dolphin won't leave me alone. It kept like ramming her back, like hard. And you have to sign this waiver, like the dolphin can do anything to you, and you can't sue us. Okay, sorry, bite your finger off. Dolphins. Yeah, right. Yeah.
I don't, this is like weird, but when I was like a little bit younger, I went to the dolphins, and there was like a baby. It was a mom and a baby.
Where were you?
I was in Florida.
Where at?
Panama City.
Okay, different place.
We were on like an island, but it was like obsessed with swimming in between my legs, so that's all it did the whole time. And its mom was like really territorial.
Oh yeah, man.
I was like scared she was gonna like.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
If the dolphins can do anything to you, can you do anything to them?
No. They tell you definitely do not touch their belly. Why would you not touch their belly? Any guesses? Their pee-pee comes out. It's like surprise. And they have a giant dong. Like, I'm not kidding. Like dolphins are incredibly horny, and like they, like, no joke, will like, they're like, do not rub this area, because they'll be like, hey, what's up, man? I'm not kidding, man. Huh?
Talk to them at the zoo or whatever, you can pet them.
Yeah.
Or like come up on the sand or whatever and try like humping people. And
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's weird, but it's true, man. It is very, very true. What's that, man? No, but hey, ask me that question when I'm not recording anymore, and I'll tell you the truth to those things. All right. So what's your spleen? What's your spleen doing? Your spleen does two crazy cool things. Number one, so there's this white pulp and red pulp, and I hate the fact they call it pulp, because whenever I like see that, I think orange juice, and that freaks me out. I don't know why. Okay, but it has nothing to do with OJ. Okay, here we go. The white pulp helps with the immune cells. Okay, so we have a nice storage spot for those. But the red pulp basically recycles and gets rid of your dead red blood cells. Okay, your red blood cells are going to live for about 40 days, 41 days. They need to die. Once they die, where do they go? They go to the spleen processes them, then they go out your poop. I've read that the reason why your poop is brown is because of the dead red blood cells in your body that your spleen is sent there. Okay, you should always look at your poop. If you see red blood cells that are red, bad idea. Okay, like I mean, like bad thing, not bad idea, bad, like yeah, bad for your body, right? So you should probably get some help. If your poop is green, so my poop was green once in my life, and it was only once, and that's because I ate an entire bag of guacamole Doritos, which was a thing at one time, and the green food coloring, I'm like, no joke, made it like.
Ice cream called Blue Moon.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved that stuff for a long
Oh
time.
yeah. Did it make it?
Food coloring.
Oh yeah.
Neon green.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. You're like we did a joke once on some buddies, and we gave them some Coca-Cola, but we had put blue food dye in it, and then you will pee blue, like straight, like bright blue. Like yeah, it's good times. Yeah, yeah. You're like, oh, fun. Okay, so red pulp. There you go. That they get rid of your red blood cells. All right, let's not talk about this, but I want to show you one quick video, and then we'll quit for the day. This video, you're going to be like, what the heck? This is ridiculous. But I like it anyway. So stick with it, even though you may be like, Mr. Murph, I
Spleen
have
is
no
known
idea
for
what
its
it just
ability
said.
to recycle red blood cells, but it also has a critical role in the immune system, screening blood for potential pathogens and mounting a targeted immune response if an invader is detected. The key players behind this filtering are antigen-presenting cells, or APCs, which present pieces of these pathogens to T cells, which can't on their own see any foreign material. Recently, scientists discovered a new type of APC in the spleen, but its specific abilities remained elusive. Now, a group of Australian immunologists has systematically tested a variety of splenic APCs in mice to discover their particular functions. Antigen presentation comes in several forms, depending on the origin of the antigen, inside or outside the cell, and the type of T cell seeing that antigen. Generally, outside antigen can only be gobbled up and presented to helper T cells, which coordinate attacks with other immune cells. Infected cells can present inside antigen to killer T cells, marking them for elimination. And in a special case known as cross-presentation, outside antigen is shown to killer T cells. Only so-called professional APCs, including dendritic cells or DCs, can do all three. The research team isolated APC subsets from the spleen, then tested the capacity of each to do these three kinds of presentation. LDCs, the newly discovered cell type, paled in comparison to monocytes in terms of gobbling up outside antigen for helper T cells, but were just as good when taking up outside antigen for killer T cells. LDCs and conventional DCs could efficiently cross-present or get killer T cells to actually kill. But LDCs couldn't activate helper T cells, unlike the fully professional dendritic cells. The findings demonstrate that although LDCs resemble monocytes, they are unique APCs with the special ability to cross-present and may be important for controlling infections and targeting cancerous cells. Additional work will reveal whether this is also true in humans and why the spleen has evolved so many types of antigen presenters.
All right, so yeah, I know. When I saw that, I was like, man, why am I showing this video? Because this is a lot of stuff, but I like it for a couple things. Okay, we don't know everything about this stuff. Like, we're still figuring out what the spleen does. This is like 2017. This is not like, you know, I found this video from like, you know, the early 90s, man. This research is still out there, you know, trying to figure out what these cells do, how they interact with the body. And, you know, the immune system, incredibly complicated. You know, tomorrow we'll look at a little bit about how the COVID vaccine works, but, you know, it's pretty amazing stuff. All right. Any questions